Hello gorgeous, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to complain a little bit. Let's have some fun and talk about products that, because of certain aspects of that makeup product, make us not want to reach for them. This is all in good fun. I'm hoping that we can laugh in the comments, and if I forgot something major, you can point that out to me. But I just find that I have an excessive makeup collection, as probably some of you do as well. No shade to the brands that are in front of me right now, but I think some of you will relate. So let's get into it. The first item I have notes here, of course, I have is bulky packaging. And I'm so sorry that I got rid of it, but who knows the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. That packaging is so big and it takes up so much space in my drawer. They put that brush underneath that nobody ever uses. Why is that there? I have not tried the new formula of their butter bronzer, but now I have so many bronzers that it makes me not want to even buy a replacement of that because it takes up so much room. Speaking of bulky packaging, can we talk about this Flower Beauty? This is their Miracle Matte Translucent Finishing Powder. This thing, number one, it's not the easiest to open. Do you see the powder flying out of that? Then it's just so bulky. This did not get a good review when I first used it, or when I first talked about it. The product is not bad. Matter of fact, I could probably use it a little right now. If you're curious about the makeup I'm wearing, I just filmed this look with the Shop Miss A products. But this Miracle Matte Finishing Powder is just a huge bulky packaging. I don't even bother putting it in my drawer. I have it on the top and it's not a favorite. And I also find that the powder that is in here is misleading. I'll have to look because I know I did the math before, but this has here's an example. This has 0.28 ounces. And here's my Wet n Wild loose setting powder, 0.70 ounces. And this is about 3 times the price. Another bulky packaging. How about the Hoola bronzers? These boxes, why? Do you see how much distance is in there of box before you get to the bronzer? Of course, this is well loved, but I can still see the writing in there. That's how long this thing has lasted me. And it's just awkward trying to put your brush in there, and I don't understand why they have to take up so much room when there are other things that are smaller. The next product, what grinds my gears about this product, this is one of my very favorite powders, but I tell you, it bothers me every time I do reach for it because it has, see, it's all over the place, but it has one of those nets inside that you're supposed to tap your brush in. I never felt like I could get the proper amount of powder in there, so I straight up took a pair of scissors, see if I can do this without spilling, and cut into that net. So that is another thing that I do not love, are powders with, or any product with like that net thing that you have to tap into. Not my favorite. I understand they're trying to keep it neat, but I don't love it. I do love this powder, but I do not love the packaging, or the scent for that matter. How about small pan sizes? I've talked about this with Urban Decay. This is my Urban Decay Nake Honey Palette. I like this palette, but do you know what makes me not want to reach for it? These small, I don't like this style of a pan. I think I prefer bigger, easier to get a brush into. Like, these are just so narrow, and I know this is probably an unpopular opinion because the Urban Decay Naked palettes are so timeless with makeup lovers, but I just don't love these skinny little pans. And when I got recently I did an Urban Decay and they did the Eternals. They had an Eternals palette come out and the pan sizes were different, and that made me very happy. But this one, I just don't like these little pan sizes. And speaking of little pan sizes, when you have to share products, like this product here from Glamlite, this is their S'mores bronzer and highlight. I don't love it when it's all together in here, because I feel like I'm going in to get the bronzer and I'm accidentally getting a little bit of highlighter. I just would prefer the pans be by themselves. Just in my Shop Miss A video, I used this bronzer and blush, and it's hard to get your brush in there. You're trying to get into the blush and you're feeling like you might be getting some bronzer on there. Give me a yay in the comments if you know what I'm talking about when you feel like you're struggling with these multi-pan products. So I'm gonna pick on Glamlite again, and another thing that makes me not grab for an eyeshadow palette is when it is massive. When you have a really big palette. This is a fun palette from Glamlite. It is their pizza palette, and I just love the whole idea that it's a pizza, but it really takes up a lot of room. And now when we are in the age of these great little 9-pan palettes, these 4-pan quads, I'm more likely to reach for those. This can be overwhelming, this can be cumbersome. I mean, it's got some great colors, but wow, it really takes up half my drawer. So I am considering moving it to another location. But when you move it to another location, are you really gonna use it? So there, and that is just a very large palette, which I do recommend if you have the room for it. I love Glamlite's formulas. How about white bristled brushes? It is so much easier when you have a dark brush. I can use this as an example. When you have a dark tipped brush, it doesn't look as dirty. You can clean it, it looks nice. Some of my very favorite brushes, probably my very favorite brushes, are from Rephr. I love Rephr, but they are white. And when you use a palette that some colors will stain, it's very upsetting when you clean your brush and that pretty white goes away. This is brand new. I think I probably put it in a cream color because it makes me not want to reach for it, because I don't want to dip into, you know, a red color in here, make it all red, and then when I go to clean it, now this brush has a pink tinge to it forever. Next, let's talk about brow products. How about these waxes that will set your brows in place that you have to spray? So this one is from Colourpop. This is their Feathered Effect Styling Wax. I like it. I took it to the beach with me. It is one of my most used brow products, but most of the time I'm gonna reach for the e.l.f. that I can just tap my spoolie in and go through, put the lid on, be done. This one, I have to take a setting spray, I have to spray it, then I have to take my spoolie and do the same thing. But it's weird because there's a mirror in here and the mirror looks disgusting. I use this, I go through my brows, and then I don't want to close it because I'm afraid if I close it, I'm closing it with moisture inside. So what ends up happening is it ends up staying on my makeup table, crowding my makeup table, because I'm afraid to get any bacteria in there, so I leave it open until it dries, and that makes me not want to reach for it. I will say, if you saw my Shop Miss A video that I just put up, the AOA Hold My Brow soap that I got, I like this one because it slides in and out and there's no mirror, and when I spray, my spoolie fits in there nice, and then I left it open while I was doing my makeup, and by the time I was done doing my makeup, this was dry. So maybe it depends on the product, but like I'm putting my finger in this Colourpop and it still feels damp, the mirror is still wet. I just don't love that. How about messy foundations? This Nars Soft Matte. I love this foundation, one of my favorite foundations. It is lightweight, it is full coverage, it is matte, which is what my oily skin appreciates. I can put a glowy powder on or a highlight if I want more glow, but I don't want the glow where I don't want it. But this darn packaging, and it's funny, I think this is what prompted the video. I cleaned this and I wish I hadn't, but you can already see all of the product buildup on the cap and in here. And when I use this, like I'll put this on my hand, and then when I put the cap back on, I've seen it squish out the side here. I mean, it's just messy. This is a messy foundation that I don't want to have to clean every time I use it. So that really does deter me sometimes from picking it up. Do better. You would think, make it a pump, right? If you saw, I just did a video the other day where I used it was in my Boxycharm video. So in my Boxycharm video, I put my base on and I put the makeup that I got in the box on with you. But before that, I put my base on, and this is what I chose for the base. And I wish I could turn my camera to have you see my lights, because I went to use this and the pump had clogged, and my bad, it has clogged before and it spit in my bedroom, and I was like, oh no, but I didn't see where it went. Well, I almost put it as a blooper at the end of the Boxycharm video, because you see me go to pump it on, I think I was using my AOA palette. I went to pump it on my palette and it just went whoosh, and it's splattered on my lights. And it was very upsetting, but you see me in the video go, you gotta be kidding me. I was so upset, and I literally went to use my brush cleaner, and look, there's some foundation on there. I mean, I don't know where all it went. I see a couple drops on the wall. I tried to wipe my light. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but this foundation, I'm afraid to pump it. I'm gonna hold it in my hand like this and go to pump. And of course it behaves this time, but twice I have gone, and of course I cleaned it after that happened, like I wiped it, but who wants to have to make sure that that pump is wiped off and clean every time they go to use it? Love this foundation. This might be my #1 foundation, but I'm very, very sad that it spits sometimes. How about a lip liner that you have no idea what color it is? Have you ever had a lip liner that it's in your lip liner drawer or in your cup on your table, and you have no idea what color that is? The cap doesn't say it, the top doesn't say it. For this particular one, this one is from Illuminati. It is, I had to figure it out. The writing is pink, and that's what tells you that it is pink. And this lip liner, I don't reach for it because I can't find it. I never, I have to dig and dig and dig to find it. Or this one that I just got in Boxycharm. This one is the Moonlit by Michaela. Again, no idea unless you look on the very, can you see that? On the very bottom, you can tell that it's a pink. I like them to be clearly marked. This one is from Colourpop. My Morphe has the top that can tell, but it just drives me crazy. And if you're in a rush or you're just trying to get your makeup on, you want to know what you're grabbing for. Am I right or am I right? Next is cheap packaging. So, for example, Wet n Wild. I just adore Wet n Wild, one of my very favorite, if not my favorite, drugstore brand. This highlighter always falls apart. I've had a couple of these through the years and it constantly falls apart, which is a little annoying. However, this is a very inexpensive product. I think this is less than $5, definitely less than $10, but when it's a more expensive product, this is from Tarte, and this is their Breezy bronzer. And this is a mini, thank goodness, because I'd be really upset because I believe the full size is in the 30s. I got this mini for, I think, $15. But yeah, I am not done with this product, and yet the packaging has just quit. Last one that I'll talk about is aggressive sprayers. Did you ever have a setting spray that shoots big spots of water on your face and you're wet and you're uneven? Or it shoots in your eye? I don't know. I've had some crazy ones. For example, this is my Morphe matte setting spray. You'll have to let me know in the comments if you've tried the regular one. I've never tried the regular setting spray, but I picked up the matte. This is my 3rd or 4th bottle of this. Each one towards the end starts to get a little wonky. I did have to return one because it never worked. Sometimes these aerosol sprayers can be a problem, and you can see the buildup on the sprayer. And sometimes I spray it and you could see that shot out really direct, and then this is very uneven on my face when it hits me, which makes me, I must have gotten a lip liner on it, which makes me not want to grab it. However, I will give Patrick Starrr some credit, because this aerosol one that I have from Patrick Starrr, this is the 1 size, I have never had an issue with this one. I mean, that sprayer has never gotten clogged or dirty looking. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's made a little bit better. It'll choke you because the fragrance is so strong, but it's a good setting spray. I hope that this was enjoyable. I hope you had some fun laughing. I hope you agree with some of the things, or if I forgot something major, let me know. Hopefully the makeup companies listen to this and make some changes, right? The more we speak, the more they'll make changes. We want to enjoy our makeup. We want them to not take up too much room, to spit in our face or spit across the room in our bedroom. We want to know what color our lip liner is. We don't want to worry about germs in our wet brow product. All the things. This was fun. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing before you leave. Give the video a thumbs up. Hopefully I made you giggle, just having some fun, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a great day.